Let's start with the Hadoop architecture. Hadoop architecture is an open source framework used to process extensive data quickly using distributed computing concepts where the data is spread across different nodes of the clusters. This architecture follows a master-slave structure where it is divided into two steps of processing and storing data. The MapReduce performs these steps and HDFS where the MapReduce does the processing while the HDFS does the storing. This architecture's basic idea is that the entire storing and processing are done in two steps and two ways. The first step is processing, which reduces programming, and the second way step is storing the data done on HDFS. It has a master-slave architecture for storage and data processing. The master node for data storage in Hadoop is the name node. There is also a master node that does the work of monitoring and parallels data processing by using Hadoop MapReduce. The slaves are other machines in the Hadoop cluster that help to store the data and perform complex computations. Each slave node has been assigned with a task tracker, and a data node has a job tracker which helps in running the processes and synchronizing them effectively. This type of system can be set up either on the cloud or on premise. The name node is a single point of failure. When it is not running on high availability mode, the Hadoop architecture also has provisions for maintaining a standby name node to safeguard the system from losses. Previously, there were secondary name nodes that acted as a backup when the primary name node was down. So let's understand the FS image and edit log. FS image and edit log ensures file system metadata persistent to keep up with all information, and name node stores the metadata in two files. These files are the FS image and edit log. The job of FS image is to keep a complete snapshot of the file system at a given time. The changes that are constantly being made in a system need to be kept a record of. These incremental changes like renaming or appending details to file are stored in the edit log. The framework provides a better option than creating a new FS image every time. A better chance to store the data while a new file for FS image. FS image creates a new snapshot every time changes are made. If name node fails, it can restore its previous state. The secondary name node can also update its copy whenever there are changes in FS image and edit logs. Thus, it ensures that even though the name node is down, there will not be any loss of data in the presence of a secondary name node. Name node does not require that these images have to be reloaded on the secondary name node. Then we move on to the data replication. HDFS is designed to process data fast and provide reliable data. It stores data across machines and in large clusters. All files are stored in a series of blocks. These blocks are replicated for fault tolerance. The block size and replicator factor can be divided into users and configured as per the user requirements. By default, the replication factor is 3. The replication factor can be specified at a time of file creation, and it can be changed later. The name node makes all decisions regarding these replicas. The name node keeps sending heartbeats to a block report at a regular intervals for all the data nodes in a cluster. The receipt of heartbeat implies that the data node is working properly. Block report specifies the list of all blocks present on the data node. Here we can understand the placement of replicas. The placement of replicas is a critical task in a Hadoop for reliability and performance. All the different data blocks are placed on the racks. The implementation of replica placement can be done as per reliability, availability, and network bandwidth utilization. The cluster of computers can be spread across different frames. Not more than 2 nodes can be placed on the same rack. The third replica should be placed on a separate shelves to ensure more reliability of data. The 2 nodes on rack communicate through different switches. The name node has the rack ID for each data node, but placing all nodes on other shelves prevents loss of any data and allows bandwidth usage from multiple frames. It also cuts the inter-rack traffic and improves performance. Also, the chance of rack failure is significantly less as compared to that of node failure. It reduces the aggregate network bandwidth when the data is being read from two unique racks rather than three. So, the two parts of storing data in HDFS and processing it through MapReduce help work correctly and efficiently. It has an architecture that helps to manage all the blocks of data and have the most recent copy by storing it in FS image and edit logs. The replication factor helps to have copies of data and get them back whenever there is a failure. HDFS also moves removed files to trash directory for optimal usage of space. So let's understand the Hadoop components. Hadoop components are used to increase the data seek rate from the storage. As the data increases day by day, despite storing the information in the warehouse, the seeking is not fast enough and making it usable. To overcome this problem, Hadoop components such as Hadoop Distributed File Systems, also known as HDFS, that is stored data in the form of blocks in the memory. Then second one is the MapReduce and third one is the YARN, are used to allow the data to be read and processed parallelly. Major components of Hadoop can be described one by one. First one is the Hadoop Distributed File System or HDFS. HDFS is the storage layer for big data. It is a cluster of many machines. The stored data can be used to process Hadoop. Once the data is pushed to HDFS, we can process it anytime. Till the time we process the data while be residing in HDFS, till we delete the files manually. HDFS stores the data as a block. The minimum size of block is 128 MB in Hadoop version 2 and for version 1 it was 64 MB. HDFS replicates the blocks for the data available. If the data is stored in one machine and if the device fails, the data is not lost, but to avoid these, data is replicated across different devices. The replication factor by default is 3. We can change in HDFS site.xml or use the replicating the blocks on different machines for high availability. HDFS is a master-slave architecture. It is name node as master and data node as a slave. Name node is the machine where all the metadata is stored of all the blocks stored in the data node. Second one is the MapReduce. The Hadoop ecosystem is a cost-effective, scalable and flexible way of working with such large datasets. Hadoop is a framework that uses a particular programming model called MapReduce for breaking up the computations task into blocks that can be distributed around a cluster of commodity machines using the Hadoop distributed file systems. MapReduce is two different tasks, map and reduce. Map precedes the reducer phase. As the name suggests, map phase maps the data into key value pairs. As we all know, Hadoop utilizes the fundamental values for processing. Reducer phase is the phase where we have the actual logic to be implemented. Apart from these two phases, it executes the shuffle and sort phase as well. YARN was introduced in the Hadoop version 2. Before that, Hadoop had a job tracker for resource management. Job tracker was the master and it had a task tracker as the slave. Job tracker was the one who used to take care of scheduling the jobs and allocating resources. Task tracker used to take care of the map and reduce tasks. The status was updated periodically to job tracker, which is a type of resource. With the type of a resource manager, it had a scalability limit and concurrent execution of the studies was also had a limitation. These issues were addressed in YARN. and it took care of resource allocation and scheduling of jobs on a cluster. Executing a MapReduce job needs resources in a group. To get resources allocated for the job, Yarn helps. Yarn determines which job is done and which machine it is done. It has all the information of available cores and memory in the cluster. It tracks memory consumptions. It interacts with the name node about the data where it resides to decide on the resource allocation. So let's understand about mapper, reducer and driver. Mapper is the class where the input file is converted into keys and value pairs for further processing. While reading the data, it is reading fundamental values only where the key is the best bit offset and the value is the entire record. For example, we have a file diary.txt. In that we have 2 lines written, that is 2 records. So this is a wonderful day. We should enjoy here. The offsets for T is 0, for W is 33. White spaces are also considered as a character. So the mapper will read the data as a key value pair. As key value pair, 0 is the wonderful day and 33 we should enjoy. Reducer. Reducer is the class that accepts keys and values from the mapper's phase output. So keys and values generated from the mapper are taken as input in the reducer for further processing. Reducer receives the data from multiple mappers. Reducer aggregates those intermediate data to a reduced number of keys and values, which is the final output. We will see this is in the example. Apart from the mapper and reducer class, we have driver. So we need to one more driver class. This code is necessary for MapReduce as it is the bridge between the framework and logic implemented. It specifies the configuration, input data path, output storage path, and most importantly, which mapper and reducer classes need to be also implemented. Many other arrangements be set in this class. Example, in the driver class, we can specify the separator for the output file as shown in the driver class of the example below. So consider we have a data set of travel agencies. So now we need to calculate from the data that how many people choose to travel to a particular destination. To achieve this, we will need to take the goal as the key for the count. We will take the value as 1. So in the mapper phase, we will be mapping the destination value to 1. Now in the shuffle and sort phase, after the mapper, it will map all the values to a particular key. Example, we have a destination as MAA. We have mapped 1, also we have 2 occurrences after shuffling and sorting. We will get MAA of 1, 1, where 1, 1 is the value. Now in the reducer phase, so we already have a logic implemented in the reducer phase to add the values to get a total count of the ticket booked for the destination. This is the flow of MapReduce. So here is the screenshot for the implemented program in the example. So here is the mapper class and next one is the reducer class. For the execution of the Hadoop, we first need to build the jar files. Then we can achieve using below command using jar example.jar /input.txt /output.txt. So here we have discussed the core components of Hadoop like HDFS, MapReduce and Yarn. It is distributed cluster of computing framework that helps to store and process the data and do the required analysis of the captured data. So Hadoop is flexible, reliable in terms of data as data is replicated and scalable. That is, we can add more machines to the cluster for storing and processing data. This has been guide to Hadoop components. Here we can discuss the core components of Hadoop with